make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the sky.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LOOT.BET CS Season 7 action for today. Hard Legion are taking on Nemiga for the next spot up in the playoffs. And of course, this comes down to a third map to see who will be taking that all-coveted bracket position. Inferno will be that map, of course, we got here as a result of Mirage going the way of the Nemiga camp, Overpass going the way of Hard Legion. And this map, one that has gone down to the wire before here, Dweg, this well could be a 16-14 or overtime matchup.
You know what? This is really going to come down to the wire. I mean, it's slowly been progressing. We obviously saw 16 to 10, then 16 to 12. So I'm expecting, you know, maybe a 16-14 to come out for Inferno. But no, it's certainly going to come down to the wire. And I really don't know which way this is going to go. It's been so back and forth between this best of three. At least, Jay, teams have been able to win out their own map picks, which is something that we have not seen a lot in LOOT.BET.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is something that obviously, you know, is obviously a big positive for both teams, obviously. I mean, for a moment, Inferno and Nemiga could have potentially brought it back against Hard Legion and won this series 2-0 at one point. So, like, they're still holding a lot of presence here in this one. They're still holding quite a bit of an opportunity to themselves against this Hard Legion camp. It could well be a very fun little time for Nemiga, but it all really comes down to how well they do on Inferno. Now, again, to emphasize, this map up in the past was played back during LOOT.BET Season 6, so... You know, just a season ago, these two teams were involved, and they ended up playing against each other on Inferno, which I believe was also the decider map of that particular series. So a very similar situation to what we've got out here. And that one went 16-14 to the favor of Hard Legion. It went so far as an 8-7.5, and a Hard Legion camp that won out on that CT end. So, you know, the fact that Nemiga are getting a CT start out here does indicate similar sort of things out from these two teams. But, Dweg, based on what you've seen today, like, who are you sort of leaning towards to take this final map?
I'm going to Nemiga, honestly. I've been really impressed with them, even considering the result that they weren't able to bring back a slightly difficult comeback on Overpass. But I just think in terms of the riflers, they've been more impressive. Now, in terms of the AWPing ability, I think Rage has certainly been able to outshine Speedak in a lot of these maps so far. So at least in that regard, Hard Legion have got the advantage, but... Yeah, look, going forward, this, in my opinion, should be a Nemiga being able to take the final map. But going into the pistol round, well, I mean, that's exactly why. That's why I said Nemiga.
I'm not going to lie. I think I'm going to agree with you on that front. Hard Legion have not had a very good time on this map as of late. They're on a 4-map losing streak here for Inferno. And the first shot straight out from MDS shuts out Crad to kick things off here. We've got... a little bit of utility for Sphere. I believe Crad may have had some other utility set up as well for his team, so we're going to look for the two smokes towards Cross and Coffins for the beast execution. They only have to worry about Cross, though. You've got Joe held back towards Tree. You can just barely see him on the top of your screen a moment ago. The flash is in. The smoke does not even go down. Eventually, it does come out, but they allow a peek to come in from Rage. Completely dry. Joe can take him down with a simple headshot in a 5 versus 3 scenario. The bomb plant will be secured, but Nemiga with a 2-man advantage for the retake. They are at a hell of an advantage.
They certainly are, especially because they can smoke off the banana position coming out for one of the members of Savat. He's actually got a flash. He's going to try and see if they can aggress in towards this construction position. Forrester, it does find one, but overwhelming. The CT's making their way quickly into the side, and it's all down to Forrester. 1 versus 2. Can he find anything with it? He can't. The bomb being stuck, and the defuse coming through for Nemiga. A great retake to that B bomb site, and it starts off with getting that 5-on-3 advantage.
Yeah, quite a good couple of kills coming in for Forrester and Kinky, though, in the post plant. That could have gotten very much more awkward, but it all kind of started from that first bullet. Like, first bullet fired, first kill found. And, yeah, I mean, a couple of mistakes being made by Hard Legion, though. And, again, with Forrester and Kinky getting these 3 kills, that temporarily turned a bit of a moment there where it was an even standing. I mean, like, even in respect to that, like, you know, Hard Legion made a couple of mistakes there, so... You know, the smoke down towards Cross is the one that stands out the most for me. You know, the fact that obviously, you know, they went for a player just peeking out completely blind, a flashbang that came in way too late to support it, and no smoke towards that Cross like you usually have. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense why Hard Legion did that, and as a result, they do concede that T-side opening round. Small pause coming in on round 2. A tech pause, as far as I am aware. I mean, I don't see any reason to go ahead and invest and go ahead and use one of your tactical pauses here on the conversion, but... A force buy coming in from Hard Legion nonetheless. The Eagles out, Tech 9, a couple of Galils in for Kinky and Forrester. And Nemiga with their own buy that does look actually just about as strong, I think.
And I'll tell you what, that's the first pistol round we've actually seen going the way of Nemiga over the course of the 3 maps in this series. So finally, this could be the opportunity for them to actually get off to a good start. A lot of the time, it's been slow starts in a lot of the, well, at least the first and second map. Hard Legion, though, setting themselves up for a lot of utility out towards the brackets. Do they check MDS's position? They do, but already he's given away his position. He needs to try and fall back. He's actually going to overextend and find a couple of kills up with Lollipop as well to chime in. And I'll tell you what, how have the T's been able to take 3 unanswered trades now?
Forrester and Kinky again combining. 2 kills for Forrester, 1 for Kinky, and the apartments control, the short control, and the bomb site control have conceded back to the favour of Hard Legion. The plant can be secure. They do spot one of the cross. But Joe and Box, how do they turn this situation around? Well, they do find Forrester down in the apartments. Some utility down, a re-smoking that should cover off that gap to the right-hand side and disallow Nemiga any real chance to get in. They do pick up that defuse kit on Joe, but Rage takes him right out immediately afterwards. So all left the box here, the last man standing for the CT side, and he is running for the hill, saving his weapon, saving his Kevlar, and conceding one back to Hard Legion. We talked a lot about how Hard Legion got their pistols and Nemiga able to get those conversions into the previous pistol rounds, but here you go, Hard Legion able to return the favour.
And I'll tell you what, which is just a little bit scary there for Hard Legion is, well, they throw 2 Moto Smokes, and there was a gap twice. It wasn't until the 3rd Moto Smoke actually came out that they were able to completely block it off. So at least in the gun rounds, that could be a little bit of a worrying sign in terms of utility. But you're right, Jay. We've seen a lot of these conversions going the other way. So this is the reverse this time around. And Hard Legion, I mean, what a position to be in now. They've got 3 AKs to work with, an M4, a MAC-10, and they're only up against 2 rifles of the Scout and the Safety and M4.
Yeah, forced investment again from both teams as Nemiga try and break the economy into return. Lollipop that opens things up on crowd out the apartment, so a slight aggressive face that runs well for the CT forces. Fiat's going to take down one low deagle in from Joe, does not get anything for his trouble. Does some damage, but doesn't get any kills against his name. So 4 versus 3, retake in for Nemiga. They may even be best to save their weapons even from this to go into the eco with something to work with. Hard Legion looking for their second. It looks like they're going to probably get it as well.
And this probably has to be a save for Nemiga. They can't really go for this, especially with the re-smoke coming through. The fact that Hard Legion are even able to hold on to a fair bit of utility in the post-plant. Well, it will be a 2nd round in a row now for the Russian side. And it wasn't a bad start at the beginning of the round. We saw Lollipop being able to at least find the opening man advantage, but it was just some really nice entries up towards the top of Nano, which pretty much opened up that B bomb site and didn't even allow a retake to come through. I'm just trying to think, like, how much can Nemiga realistically find in this round number 4? Now, they probably won't invest too much off the back of these 3 saved-in people, but at least trying to do some damage and limit the economy, because Savat, he's starting to grow.
Yeah, and that money line will start to spiral out of control if they can't seem to get any control over it. In the current situation of things, we're looking at an AWP very early on for Hard Legion. It's Mach 10 for Cran. Of course, the M4's the AK's coming out of standard. Cran going to make a way very aggressive towards Box, but Box shuts him down. Easily takes control of the first kill against the Mach 10. It is an SMG versus rifle, so rifles do win things out overall. There are more rifles for Hard Legion, so some of those faces are going to be better for them. It's flashes over to Sviat, going to take contact. Box gets a second kill, though. Smoke against him, should force him back. It's going to rely mostly on the pistol in the back lines here. The Deagle out for Joe to support him. Flick to the head, does not quite land on his man. Box does spray blind and get a 3K, so 4 versus 2 retake. This is possible for Nemiga.
This is very doable. Box needs to try and get that M4 over to another player, considering how low he is. A 4-on-2, pretty much all the CTs in current positions to try and retake this site, and they've got a flashbang as well. That could try and get them in. MDS trying to line that up for his teammates. Hard Legion, how much can they find from this? They need to be able to hold off strong, but it's the MP9 to find the first. Forrester gets immediately traded, and will Nemiga on a round that they were hopefully being able to find some damage, end up converting it, and they're going to be able to save onto 3 AKs.
It's big stuff coming in for them here. Second on the board for Nemiga. And Hard Legion, well, they are going to get upset a little bit in that respect. A very good round Herber coming in from the CT side again, with the M4 in particular doing a ton of damage. Box giving up that first kill, but isolating the 2 others with his own right. So very, very well played from them.
And that brings them straight back into the game, being able to tie us up. But with the money line that was built for quite some time for Hard Legion, they are able to at least invest onto that AWP up for Rage. So they do have a big green gun to work into round number 5. And pretty passive stuff coming out from Nemiga, not really trying to take any control for the minute. Having a couple of players towards the top of Banana, but no real utility damage has come out from either side. And Hard Legion, a couple of players around the apartment. Speedak knows this position out from Boiler. And pretty passive stuff coming out from both sides.
Orb scope in, heard by MDS, he knows what's up. Nade in for Box, sees one player around the corner. AK setting up for Kinky. Kinky will get the kill. The AK of MDS here, ready for Rage. Rounds that corner, taps up twice to the headshot, takes him right back. So a 4-on-4 situation. The AWP dropping for the T side. And a rifle out for the CTs. The Nemiga just holding their passive positions, waiting for Hard Legion to make their move. They've got passive control, a little bit of aggression coming out of Boiler, but for the most part, the T is just leading in towards this banana face, looking for a B-side execution.
They have to commit B. They've only got 2 smokes to work with, so it would just be Coffins and CT. What will be the hold coming out from Nemiga? Unfortunately, the 2 B defenders don't have any more utility other than Incendiary, but that could go down at the right time, especially with how low the clock is if this Incendiary goes down.
And there it is. That'll stop them for the moment. Kinky can't make his way on. The T's are going to wait for it to burn alive. And the spray from MDS will take Sviat down. Joe on towards first cross here against Crad. Crad will isolate that kill. AK swings in from MDS, but Hard Legion isolate those frags and manage to maintain control of the B bomb site. The bomb plot will be secured, and Lollipop and Speedak are throwing in the towel. A 3-on-2. And somehow the Incendiary coming in from the CTs did not do enough to secure the round for Nemiga.
And that was pretty poorly played coming out for Nemiga. Now, realizing the fact there's 30 seconds left on the clock, you've had a bit of utility being used over at that B bomb site, and you throw that molly down, you need to get a rotator up. You either need to push mid together and try and siphon off the banana players, or you need to just rotate to A. They rotate to B. They didn't have any information, so they put that molly down, and that could have been the perfect position to have a gamble stack at B or start to press for information. And the A players, they were so passive that no one at B or A had any idea what was going on. And Hard Legion, I mean, the entries just come out from Crad and Kinky. And Nemiga, unfortunately, they don't have the read.
Yeah, that's not fun. Not for Nemiga at this moment. AWP's out for Joe and Speedak, however, they will reinvest very heavily. I mean, it's been a very sort of force-based map up here from Hard Legion and Nemiga, so seeing these rifles come back in on the round after they lost doesn't surprise me for this CT squad. It's Kinky. Backing up Forrester here with the AK. He's going to go out towards the banana and top mid face. Look at the Ferret, straight aggression coming in. He only gets himself one with Joe's support. A 4 versus 4 for the trades back at the CT favor a HP advantage for them above Forrester. And 100 HP across the entire CT board. The AWP getting boosted up towards the broken wall. I think they'll just play contact from here and rotate 3 players off towards A.
That would be a smart call to come out from Nemiga, taking the banana control. One of the first times I've actually seen them with this quite heavy presence. But for the meanwhile, they're actually, it's quite slow to rotate that 3rd player over to the A bomb site. So really, it's got to come down to the CTs at A of both MDS and Speedak to try and hold for as long as they can. Hard Legion, not even committing back to the B bomb site. This is going to be an A set piece.
Flashbanging against Joe will keep him completely blind. They're going to wrap their way back in via the CT spawn. They're not going to see any presence from long, and now it's all going to rest on the AWP box to defend a 2-pronged attack. The rotation's not going to mean anything towards the Nemiga now. They're going to have to rely on this AWP to do some level of damage. Potentially getting away alive, potentially setting up a retake for his teammates. Forrester's going to peek out on Speedak, take him down towards that mid position. And the AWP caught in the back. Crad just peek in, take him down immediately. I mean, Box was just holding face, hoping that someone comes towards mid, but no hat on the swivel. No information to the wraparound, so this will be a 4th on the board for Hard Legion. A good exit frag from MDS. Will grab the AK and run for the hills.
Unfortunately there for the Nemiga side is, well, they don't have any information that Hard Legion had actually split in through Speedway and try to wrap into that B bomb site box. He has no idea how he gets killed from behind. I tell you what, Hard Legion, they're putting up a very good T side, especially in these gun rounds. 4-2, potentially even 5-2. Especially with the money line being where it is for the Belarus side. Nemiga struggling to find a lot of opening kills, Joe.
Yeah, they really have been. It's not been... Again, the CT side have been so slow to start for Nemiga, and that's the case how it was on the likes of, you know, Overpass, obviously. I wonder if this will be the case out here for them all the same. The Zeus for Joe does not go that well for him, so that's going to take him down immediately. But yeah, Hard Legion just should be an easy anti-eco round. I mean, they're playing passive behind boxes here for the Nemiga camp. Hopefully those USPs could do some level of damage. They are stacking towards the A bomb site, and fortunately enough, that's where Hard Legion are leaning towards. Forrester's made his way all the way up towards this passive short face, and it looks like they'll continue with this as well. Smoke down, cross of the site. MDS waiting with the P250. Speedak ready to round this corner. Will take face against 1. Damage will be done towards the man. And the P250 pops up, gets popped out. And the rest of the CT should follow relatively soon here.
A lot of spam coming into the side box. Well, unfortunately, all of his teammates going down.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
We've got to see some aggression, Jay. We've got to see around the apartments, down through mid. We've just seen Nemiga playing so passive in the sites and so deep. We need to see some aggression. Because otherwise, Hard Legion, they're just going to continue these opening kills. And here it is towards Banana.
MDS dealt with by Rage, though. Joe will find a follow-up kill on towards Sviat, but Crad trades it back over on the long face of the A bomb site. So it's a 2-for-1 trade, favourable to Hard Legion. And you talked about getting aggression out, and they did get it out for Nemiga, but it just was not enough. 4 versus 3 now. Hard Legion going to pick apart some more kills as Kinky gets Lollipop, and Joe and Box, the last 2 players, they're standing out here towards the bomb site. Forrester gets out Joe, Box left alone, and Crad drops him all the same. A simple round coming in from Hard Legion. And Nemiga, like, now they're really feeling the hurt. And again, we're seeing this situation, we're seeing this this style of player where it just feels like the confidence has been broken for this CT side.
Oh, well, we've seen Hard Legion now. They've got off this is the 3rd time. Every single map so far they've started on the T side. And when you look back, Jay, of just the last map in the series on Overpass, that they had that 9-0 lead. They looked very comfortable on the T side. And I'm seeing, you know, flashes again. And Nemiga, they need to come into their own. Oh, the spray from Forrester. Man, he only used like 15 bullets. Oh, that was just too easy. That was too easy.
And the round is over, just 10 seconds into it. Like, there's no coming back from this for Joe. There's just no coming back for this for Joe. The Deagle out short. They are facing towards the B bomb site, so they're going to wrap around and converge on the site where he is holding from. So maybe some damage to come through. I don't think he'll win the round, but if he does anything with this, it'll be magical to say the least. Crad, first man up. Deagle gets his headshot on one, but surely no much more than this, indeed. There's Kinky there with that final frag. Hard Legion 7-2 now, one away from the half victory. And just, you know, it was a good effort there with the mid stack and the CT nades coming in with the nade stack, but it's lining up for the AK. Wrong timing, wrong place. And the double op set up from Joe and Speedak. Let's see whether the rifles can finally get something out here with the big green guns in play.
No, well, we've certainly seen them have success before, but they've got to step up now. They've got to find an opening pick. They've really struggled in finding that opening man advantage. And we've seen aggression over towards this banana face, but even in terms of utility damage, they haven't been able to do a lot. Look at the response. I mean, they don't do any damage to Hard Legion, but Box is down to just 12 HP being the B defender.
They do find some follow-up nades, but the HP numbers are still so much better here for the T side. Forcing one player off angle here with the AWP. Speedak is going to fall to just 99 points of health, and Lollipop will be the first casualty out here for the T side. A good pick on toward him there on the A-bomb site. They fall out the apartment, start looking into the banana push. Once again, they got to stack up here. Once again, they've got only Joe to defend it, but AWP playing passive contact and need to call the rotations in. Speedak will get Crad on towards the A-bomb site. So a 4 versus 4 scenario.
And Nemiga, they've only got a single B defender. Speedak's going to be at least rotating in, but Joe needs to hold on to his own. How does he miss that shot? He gets baited out from Hard Legion. At least he follows up to bring it back into a 4-on-3.
Keeping himself alive by the skin of his teeth as well. Speedak here with his own AWP will rotate alongside his teammate. 35 seconds, and Hard Legion have been suppressed back here towards the banana entrance. The utility coming in again. Sviat's going to pick up one of the AKs. Try and look for Joe out here. Oh, blind spray from Box. What? Catches Sviat. He had no idea. AWP scope in from Rage. Can't quite find him, seeing 2 players around his corner. But Joe will still land his kill, peeking in for a little bit more. Ends up with a 3K. And saves the day here for the CT side.
That smoke honestly saves them the day. So what happens is Hard Legion, they're in a 4-on-4. They're setting themselves up for a BXE. A couple of missed shots come out from Joe. He's able to finally connect. He gets a 4-on-3. They re-smoke Banana. And Hard Legion, they're like sitting ducks. They're just standing behind it. There's no way they can press forward. Box has an insane spray through the CT spawn smoke, and well, the AWPs connect in the end. A very strong round for Nemiga, and well, this could be the turning point. This could be the point where they start to fight back, but they need again to find that opening pick, and look how quickly banana control's been taken.
Straight out of the gate for Sviat. Box is going to try and contest, and they've got a lot more passive here on the Nemiga camp. Instead, flashbangs over, nades up, Sviat going to go down. Kicking things off as well for the Nemiga camp. A nice nade. A couple of nades on, actually. Going to go towards Kinky. Box gets the kill. A 5 versus 3. And lots of HP still available for the CT side. AWP in the back lines. Gets himself only 1 kill. But MDS able to respond quick to the rotation. It's all left to Rage. Bomb picked up. Burning a little bit. We'll re-smoke the cross and Molotov out the coffins. Trying to look for MDS here. He has no idea of where these CTs are held out here. Unfortunately, he can't do much in terms of damage. We'll try plant or fake the plant in the open. Flashbangs in. MDS is dealt with by Rage at least. That's 1 good kill. Oh, not quite the second, though. Speedak's going to close it down. And Nemiga, well, very similar to the way things went out on Overpass. You know, a slow start to the CT side, but now they're getting going.
They certainly are, and it's good to see. It comes down to the utility damage, and Hard Legion, a lot of the time around Banana, they've taken it pretty slowly. They've been pretty passive in trying to take the control. That time around, it's the call from Savat to kind of explode to take control, and, well, they don't find the opening picks. It's a great response coming out from Nemiga, and unfortunately, even with 2 rounds in a row, they haven't really been able to build this economy at all, considering how expensive Hard Legion have made these rounds. 4-7. It is a 3-round deficit for the Belarus side. A couple of nades towards the top of Banana, doing a little bit of damage to Box, but all in all, it's back to the passive stuff around the Banana control.
Yeah, Kinky tagged up to 42 HP. Joe with the M4 around this corner. Here at the broken wall. Hoping to catch something off here by the T side. Hard Legion flashing their way in. Joe a bit overzealous though. His patience could have paid off in dividends, but he has to concede that position now because Hard Legion know exactly where he is. And a minute to the clock. Here they go, entering their way forwards. Fiat's going to check out the sandbags, and Joe and Box here set to the crossfire. But the T's gain that banana control and they fall right back out. They want to lean towards the A bomb site, it seems.
Well, they're locked out now. There's no way they can go back to B. It looked like they wanted to try and sell a fake at A and go B, but are they going to go back to this B bomb site? This is a really tough call coming out from Hard Legion, but it's actually the right one because they're rotating 2 players over to back up an A, so there's only a single B defender, and it's not even the AWP, it's MDS, but he's got a smoke. That's going to buy him some time.
A flashbang as well to catch them off guard. They have no idea it's about to pour in, and Forrester will get stopped for it. Smoke also coming in towards that coffee position as he peeks in. MDS will be able to get that kill. Looking for his double on against the triple. No, Crad will trade it. Look for his 2k box sprays to transfer, but unable to get the second kill. It doesn't matter though. Raid, 15 seconds, a 1 versus 3. The plant can be secured. They'll blind fire straight through the smoke, and Joe will end up with an AWP saved for a 5th on the board of Nemiga.
It's honestly like I'm watching Overpass. It is exactly the same. We saw Hard Legion getting off to a good start. It's a good recovery from Nemiga. They start to come into their own. They look really confident. And Hard Legion, you know, I'd like to see some of these aggressive rounds from them around the apartments player. We've certainly seen it before that they can have some of these quick site executions to the A bomb site. And maybe just trying to turn up the tempo a little bit. They've certainly struggled in these last few rounds, playing a little bit more passive in finding some opening advantages. And Nemiga, well, they've got 2 AKs to work with on the CT side, and that AWP from Speedak are playing a lot around that A-bomb site.
His defaults out from Hard Legion here into the apartment's face. 1 player over on the bomb site directly. Got players rotating in from the long position. You've got MDS in particular out here. Incendiary is landing a bit too shallow in the midst of the smoke, and now the flashbang's coming in. Will allow the T side to exit out into the A bomb site. Lollipop keeping his eyes on, but MDS gets that first kill on Forrester. Measure the smoke there. Not seeing the play towards Pit. Push away against Kinky. Eventually Lollipop lands up the secondary headshot on for his second kill as well. But Crad rotating out with the Tech-9 here. Good kill from Speed. That takes out 1, takes out 2. And now on against Fiat as the last man left. Could secure a bomb plant from here, which might be his best bet, but overly facing. Does get taken out, and it will be a 6th for the Nemiga camp.
And this is, what, now 4 rounds in a row where it hasn't been a single bomb plant coming through for the T side. And, well, I don't mind that set piece of the A bomb site. They do the cross smokes out to Pit and actually get a player of Crad into the Pit position to clear out the mini Pit and Pit position before trying to clear out the site. But, I mean, the rotates, they just come out so quickly. The AWP of Speedak has a great hold. And 1 round is the difference. Hard Legion, it seems like it's all falling apart at the moment.
Yes, it seems so. Unfortunately, I mean, their start has been fantastic. You know, they're able to get 7-2 on the board, but now with the last 4 rounds going the way of Nemiga, the state of the Hard Legion camp is now looking a little bit awkward. A tactical pause has got to come through to try and see if they can figure out how they play this out from here, because they've been doing damage to Nemiga. They could very easily reset them going into round 15, but if they force the buy, then they won't have enough money to go for a full buy of their own. I mean, they'll still have some loss bonus to fall back on here, with the max loss bonus kicking in after this round. But, yeah, most importantly, how are they going to play out this round to try and get it away from Nemiga? That's obviously the main thing right there. You're talking about whether or not they have buys, but in the next round, it's all about risk versus reward here. The AKs, the M4s, the AWP on 2 players, in fact, for Nemiga. And Joe out towards the banana face. You've got Speedak over on the long control for A site. It's banana control passiveless. Nades coming up, doing a bit of early damage to Kinky on the start.
Yeah, pretty passive coming out from Hard Legion. Nothing really aggressive to start the round off. using a little bit of utility to the top of banana position. And one thing that Nemiga do quite a lot is, especially after the first 5 or 10 seconds of the round, well, I would say maybe 10 or 15 seconds, is they try and use a little bit of utility towards banana, and they just fall back and play pretty passive at the A bomb side, and sometimes even rotate that 4th player over to A. Now, this time around, it is Box and Joe playing over to B, but there is no banana commitment at all. This is just going to be a play into brackets and at least establish that map control.
On towards the long face is where they'll look to go here. Speedak's going to put all his utility out. No one's going to check car B. Crowd will go down. Spray through on 2 more players. Could very easy line up a 3K. Only gets his 2K as Kinky finds that trade. But on 34 HP, he has to fall back and join his teammates now for the actual hit. Smoke up from Speedak. AWP continuing to watch the position out here towards long as Lollipop, the M4 spawning by. Speedak only lands a leg shot on Forrester, so that's a good kill to return. A 3 versus 3 situation, but still 2 CTs here on the A bomb site. If they rotate towards B now, they'll only have to deal with Joe on the AWP.
He's got a smoke, though. Honestly, Nemiga probably win this round. Joe can put that smoke down and just try and defend, allow the rotations to come through. He's going to hear the footsteps, but he needs to come up big. This could be absolutely massive from Joe. The smoke goes down. They're going to try and push him forward. Joe gets smoked off the angle, and he can't hold and contend the T's into the banana position.
Can't deny the bomb plant either. If we landed that first kill, that may have been a plausibility, but now 3 versus 3 for the retake up for Nemiga. Box. Gonna wait in the midst of the smoke, and flashbang available for Lollipop to get him into that position. The M4 slowly but surely making his way inwards here. His back will be turned to one of the T-side players regardless. Swinging in on Kinky, the smoke goes down, Box doubles up, and the AWP catching Forrester at the edge of the smoke. Nemiga will get to 7 on the CT side.
Oh, I mean, at least they get a bomb plan, but for Hard Legion, things looked pretty good there. They actually brought back a pretty rough opening statement of that round, just pushing through the long smoke. I mean, why? I can't even answer that. It's just a little bit of chaotic plays coming out from Hard Legion, and that shows desperation. You know, just pushing through a long smoke without a flashbang or anything, just looking for something, and well, they just got mopped up. They turned it back into a 3-on-3 with some really nice kills, and well, they try and go into that B bomb site. The retake is phenomenal, and Hard Legion's struggling. Oh, that was close.
Not able to land it overall, though. The kill's not coming into the CT face. AK of Crad in towards the apartments will keep his eyes on for any CT aggression. But all in all, it's pretty passive and standard for Nemiga. They're not going to press too far forward. I mean, they've gone for aggression in the past and it hasn't worked out. So for this final round, just play how it's been working so far. Try see if you can secure that A7.5, because at this point, you may well need it with how close this is going to be against Hard Legion. Smokes down towards that long control, popping out the flick from the AWP. Does not land, and Hard Legion gain a little bit more map control.
And they start to, rather than slow it down, actually kind of turn the tempo up, but this utility coming out for the CTs is going to try and at least hold them at bay, and already they've pushed banana. They know it has to be an A-side play. Let's see what the T's can find. Good flashbang coming out from MBS to start off with the first bit of a sloppy spray. Lollipop to time into the action. The trade kills come out quite nicely for the T's, but it's still in favor of Nemiga and Speedak. What a shot onto the side. Kinky, the last one left, and well, what can he find? 1 versus 3 now, making it 1 versus 2. Speedak. I mean, his AWP, we were certainly giving him a bit of criticism out through first map and map 1 and map 2, but he's hit some very nice shots in map number 3.
No, absolutely. He's been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant so far in this AWP. Not quite top fragging, but just several multi-kill rounds, several impactful frags, and some of the most impactful stuff we've seen so far in this one. It's been a really, really good half so far here from Nemiga. Even though they lost the initial few rounds, even though they went 7-2 down, they eventually turned it back to 8. With 6 rounds on the trot against Hard Legion. And now, moving into their T side, this is where things will need to get interesting. Again, to highlight exactly how Hard Legion won this, it was on their CT half with Nemiga taking the 8-7 advantage. So, history set to repeat itself. Will they be able to stop it? Double flash and smoke for Box. Diffuse double flash for Sphere. Everybody has default pistols. Everybody else has Kevlar. And here comes Nemiga into the defaults out towards Banana.
Quite quick actually coming out for Nemiga and starting things off already. Kinky getting gooshed down to just 9 points of health. But it's not going to be a B play at all unless they wrap around in through the speedway. But this is going to be the play to the A bomb side. And with Forrester getting that info, he can bring the rotations back.
Taps up USP, he's taking out one. Joe's going to take a quick trade back to a 4-on-3 scenario, though. Favourable, of course, to Hard Legion. Nemiga continuing their short campaign. They've got Forrester as the lone man left here on the balcony, potentially also in the apartments. Crad drops Joe. MDS next to face, and Forrester just barely gets out of dodge. Falls back as Crad doubles up. MDS will get a kill, but it's Viap there with a quick trade of his own right. And Hard Legion, an all-important pistol victory here on the CT side.
These guys are pistol gods. They have won 5 out of the 6 pistol rounds across these 3 maps. That's insane. That's really insane from Hard Legion. And well, that might just be the start they need, Jay, to gather that momentum into the second half after really blowing away the back end of a lot of those rifle rounds. Now, with no bomb plant coming through, it's not going to be the force up for Nemiga. A couple of upgraded pistols and a little bit of utility. But all in all, we will see the rifles coming out into the next.
It's going to be the SMGs up first here for Hard Legion, looking to try and farm up some cash. Much money in to start as they possibly can. MDS with the first Deagle shot down out towards the apartments, taking out Forrester through the glass. So a big start again for the T side. Hard Legion do lose the opener.
And that Deagle kill might give Hard Legion the idea that it's actually a force buy rather than just a couple of upgrades. Considering how many times we've seen Nemiga force on these kind of rounds. The HEs come out towards Banana, but they don't see any information. They might think Banana's clear.
Taps up from Speedak. Gets Crad next. Double up from the double kill. Okay. This is about to get interesting if the feed would stop lagging at the very least. 4-on-2. SMG. MDS does get a kill back on Rage. And suddenly Kinky, last man left standing. 1 versus 4 for the CT side. He's going to get backstabbed in by Box, or MDS I should say actually. Coming in with his SMG, spotted out for the M4A1S. And Nemiga with a full eco. A full eco will turn this whole round around here. Kinky will get 1 exit frag. But now left to fall back and save his M4. And Nemiga, they're hunting him down.
We've seen 5 out of 6 pistol rounds go in the way of Hard Legion. And we have seen 5 out of 6 anti-ecos go in the way of Nemiga. It's ridiculous. They didn't even force us. I can't believe Hard Legion have lost to a couple of upgrades. Man, Hard Legion really struggle on these anti-ecos. It's probably their biggest weakness at the moment.
Again, key thing to remember, anti-eco. Not anti-force buy, not anti-half buy.
Yep.
It was straight up an eco round. Glocks alone for Nemiga.
Oh, this is funny.
It is. That should have been an easy round for Hard Legion, but the fact that they get away with that much on Nemiga, just double eco status for the CT forces. A force investment will come out. You can see the flashes over from Joe early on towards the banana control. It's Crad with the Deagle that will try and make his way inland again. Desperately looking for an aggressive T-side face. Hopefully a 1D back, but the Molotov grenades will force him and Forrester to retreat.
Hard Legion. No, they have to force into it. I mean, at least they've got an M4 backed up from Kinky from the last round. And well, they're actually gamble stacking this B bomb site. This actually might not be the worst read whatsoever, considering how much presence is being shown here from Nemiga. Well, what can they find on the entries? Forrester Deagle's going to be able to find the first. Oh, it's Savant chimes in. Forrester as well. This is all falling apart. A 4-on-2 advantage. And look at the damage on MDS and Lollipop.
Wow. Talk about pistol victories for Nemiga. We'll apply the same things to Hard Legion. It was a bit more of a heavy investment round, though. And they come up good for it on the force buy. 2 versus 4. Oh, Krad's around the back lines. He takes out the bomb planter. He's got MDS as the last man standing. The AK out towards mid. The bomb's been dropped. The CTs know exactly where he is. This will be 9-9 on the board.
What is going on? Why can't they just convert rounds? Oh, this is just so hard to watch, man. Oh my goodness. They've both done it on a consistent basis. Man. And Nemiga are going to be kicking themselves. They're probably not even going to get a bomb plant, no. They'll force the issue back, but it's just how much further forward can we go where it's just back and forward rounds?
Well, they're going to force the issue here for Nemiga one more time, so there's always that. Mac-10's in, AK's on 2. Not the most fantastic buy, but it is a buy nonetheless. And straight out trying to look for that opening kill, hoping the CTs get aggressive. That's why they're stabbed towards Mexico, expecting them to push out from mid. They won't. Then they'll make their way in from Banana as they challenge on towards the Mac-10 here of Joe. Take a little bit early damage. Sviat hoping that someone is seen out here towards the Woodstack corner, but a Mac-10 playing around the initial entrance. You hear that player making his way out, and Sviat wins out the opening kill.
Good opening coming out from Hard Legion up against the Force and Nemiga. How much more can they find with this? Minute 15 on the clock. Forrest is going to be able to actually answer with a secondary kill for the CT side. And Nemiga, no one's really in a position to trade. Yes, Lollipop can maybe find something from the apartments, but they're going to be retaking this banana control and trying to hit this B bomb site. And already, this round's pretty much over unless they can get some really sharp entries onto the B defenders, considering they've already rotated a second player off. But look at this from Crad, but they expect it.
Forrester catching off Lollipop. 2 players left in Box and Speedak. Flashes in. SMG on Coffins has got a lot of range to deal with here. Unfortunately, it just won't be ideal for the SMG he has. 1 player out tree. Kinky hoping for a gap in that smoke. Flash in. Blind sprays through, trying to catch Speedak with the footstep noises he's making. The Mac-10 has the bomb on its back. The CT is going to get aggressed in by the AK of Box. He takes out 1. The bomb plant will now be secured. So 2 versus 3, now 1. 2 players line up the box as they do press the issue forward in Hard Legion, and unfortunately there's just not enough time, not enough breathing room for Nemiga to work with. So finally, it looks like the war of attrition has been broken, and this time it's to the favour of the CT side.
And there are 2 big fraggers at the moment of both these sides, both Forrester and MDS. And 24 kills for Forrester, only 17 for MDS, who is currently leading the charge for Nemiga. And well, you look at the buy and you think, okay, well, there's not really too much to work with. You've got the single deagle up, or a couple of deagles up for both Box and Joe, but all in all, this should be a pretty easy 11th round coming out from Hard Legion. Try and get that AWP out for Rage in the following round if they can.
And if you're Hard Legion right now, you're just thankful that the eco loss did not break you. That the eco loss didn't just completely decimate your chances at CT side. Because it very easily could have, you know, if they were able to do some damage, they were able to take those kills. If they were able to overwhelm, then, you know, this would have become like maybe an 11-8 at this point. And the nades up, the M4 Sviat will hold on. And a minute to the clock. So MDS does get picked up for 1 good frag. Joe Lollipop, last 2 players left. The eco this time will not get anything fancy done. It will just be a standard anti-eco for Nemiga. Get the SMGs in to clean up some decent kills, farm up some money, and finally get the economy bolstered for the CT side.
And well, if they can survive without a single player going down, that could be big. And well, that's exactly what the case is going to be. 11 rounds now up for the Russian side. Do they invest the AWP? It looks like they might want to and get rid of that MP9. They've certainly got the money for it. Yeah, there it is, going on the back of Rage. Even the utility, Jay, I mean, there's just not even a lot of it for Nemiga.
Yeah. Look at this aggression coming in from the CT forces. Hard Legion are going to try to force the issue with aggression, something that the Nemiga squad on the CT side couldn't do much. And they tried to. Kinky the first casualty, and Joe does get Crad as well. He does burn alive back to a 4 versus 3, but it's still a man advantage for Nemiga, so there's that much at least. The smoke down for Sviat here. Try and stop them and stall them for the moment. They're still going to make their way past it as they start to bloom. Sviat lines up 2 kills, gets none of them. Forrester will get 1 in trade, but that's as far as he goes. Rage left alone to the A-bomb site as Nemiga do overwhelm. They do find a plant. They do find a temp for the T side.
And that AWP didn't even get any chance to really find any impact in round number 21. Nemiga, they put quite a heavy stance up towards Banana. We see the aggression coming through from Hard Legion. They are able to open up with that man advantage with the 4-on-3. And even with the resmoke coming out from Savat, they just push straight through it rather than playing passive and waiting behind and allowing the rotation to come through. And Forrester tries everything, trying to push through that city smoke to at least see if he can find a couple of kills. Only gets away with one. Now, Rage will be able to hold on to this AWP, but it's a perfect response coming out for Nemiga in the gun round.
And once again, within one of the lead here for Nemiga. A half buy for Hard Legion to get themselves back in, just to have something to support the AWP. Trying to do something with this much here. The Molotov's coming out. MDS will lead the charge with the AK-47. The Deagle of Kinky will also keep his eyes on, but Rage is going to regress here towards the apartments. He'll hear some footsteps out towards the outside of second mid, and he'll keep his eyes on as well here towards the apartments entrance, hopefully looking for an opening kill, but Lollipop snuck right behind him. They don't know that this AWP is here, actually. He could find a surprise frag. Indeed, Lollipop wasn't expecting that. Opener coming in for the CT. The secondary kill will not be allowed as MDS finds that trade, so it's all just pistols and Kevlar for the CT side.
And at least they deal with that AWP. That is the really important factor, that Rage does not keep that in play. They try and shut him out as soon as they can. Now, in a 4-on-4, we actually have seen a player pushing quite aggressively up through Banana, and that's Crad. It should be a angle that they're certainly pre-aiming. He's the only defender here, I think.
Oh, he gets one good kill, though. Not quite a second. Rotations are quick from Hard Legion. Deagle, in particular for Kinky. On bomb site, on first. And 40 seconds to the clock. The smoke's coming up and over here for Joe. The bottom has made its way back over to that mid position, and Forrester has an AK picked up, but doesn't drop speed axe. So Kinky and Sviat, last two players left, they're going to make the run to the bomb site, and of course Nemiga full site control at this stage. There is no way they're going to concede this one. Hard Legion, no way they're going to get the recovery on the retake. I mean, they might throw these pistols out, see how much damage they could do, but realistically speaking, this should be 11-all. This should be Nemiga equalizing against the Hard Legion squad.
I don't really like that round coming out from Nemiga. They just need to be playing together rather than just try and sell a fake. I mean, you look at where Forrester is. If he would have taken down Speedak, then there's a chance that Hard Legion win out that round. That was way too down to the wire, considering it was only an AWP and a couple of upgrades. And Nemiga they were spreading out too far. And the reason for that is they didn't want to group together. They wanted to at least try and see if they could sell a fake out from Joe towards the B-bomb side. And they did a good job of holding two players there. Don't hold on to that AK from Sabat, so at least some damage being done towards the end of the round.
Good responses at the very least from Nemiga. Again, able to deal with these two players. They've got kills on the CT side. And momentum swinging back and forth between these two sides, but Hard Legion took the L in round 22 to get themselves a buy-up in round 23, and a hell of a buy-up at that. Double orb setup coming in from Crad and Rage. Yes, they do have the FAMAS for Forrester, which is going to be a bit of a concern. Hard Legion putting these orbs into their positions, hoping to get the opening kills, in particular towards Banana, where Crad will give up his angle, will give up the AWP information. Second orb hasn't fired just yet, but he'll keep his eyes on, ready for them to make their way on towards the A default.
I don't often see Crad secondary orbing, so Nemiga might be going into this round only expecting that single orb at the B bomb site, but Crad's now rotated off to the long position. Unfortunately, doesn't see anything with it. What a shot coming through the smoke, and that's a great advantage to work with.
5-on-4. Flashes over. Rage. Orb in his sights here towards that mid position. 60 seconds to the clock. A bit of aggression coming in from Hard Legion as well. Crad's going to put that orb back over to the B bomb site, but is unable to land the kill against it here. He will be forced back, and because they're going to think that this orb's rotating back and forth between both sites. They'll be right about it. But Rage doesn't reveal his hand on A. He won't need to. It's the AWP of Crad holding the defensive on the B execution. Joe next to fall. 5 on 3. Favor to Hard Legion. Not a single lick of damage has been done to this CT side. M4 Kinky in the back line of Molotov should force him off position. We'll see that one player on Coffin spray through, drop that bomb. Lollipop and Speed Act now being suppressed. They will get Crad, but Sviat swings in as Kinky swings out. And Hard Legion will get to 12 as they take lead away from Nemiga.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
That secondary AWP, I mean, that pretty much put them in the winning round position. Crad does such a great job of rotating between the A and B bomb site, finding picks. And well, now this could be a strong lead from Hard Legion, considering the fact it's only a half bar, just some upgraded deagles. They do have a bit of Kevlar and some utility to work with. But Hard Legion, if they can convert this, they'll be up 13 to 11.
Warp of Crad lands a good shot on towards Joe. It's not going to be a kill. It will be a good tag up against him though. So 42 HP to start. And Nemiga establishing their map control but not giving up a whole lot of anything here. They've got very little that they can work with at this stage, Dweg. Just these deagles on a deco. Most looking to the rifles here in round 25, but Hard Legion, anything else they can do would just be fantastic for them.
Well, they certainly know the long commitment's coming through, so that's actually going to play a little bit more passive in case the wrap comes around to B, and well, that's a really smart call. They've got 3 players over here at the B bomb site, and Nemiga, they keep coming.
The AWP, good shot against Lollipop again, doing damage. No kills though for the AWPer, and Box can take him down. 4-on-4 situation as Kinky does find a trade back. He's got T-side players close and far. We'll drop Joe next up. M4 of Sviat is also on site. 2K to Kinky, AWP wraps around, Lollipop drops him now. It's ordered to Kinky in the back lines here. 20 seconds, CTs are on rotation. They've got another player out here towards the cross position. Does turn towards Box, Kinky goes down, and Speedak gets Forrester. It's all to Rage, and AWP versus 2. And again, these anti-ecos are doing a ton for them. Can they steal another round away? Could they potentially take this 12th back for Nemiga? 25 seconds for Rage. He will push in slowly but surely from Banana. Wrapping around the corner. Lollipop's got his eyes trained towards the CT spawn. 15 seconds for Rage. He's got a kit. He's got no time. He can't find the picks against them. And he's out of dodge. Nemiga have done it again. Deagle's on the eco. And they come up big.
And Hard Legion, I'm sorry, but you need to be able to win out these rounds. We have seen, I would say, at least 10 rounds so far across these 3 maps that we have seen Hard Legion lose to half by anti-ecos. And it can't happen. It cannot happen. And now they're completely screwed in terms of their money game. They've got that AWP on the back of Rage. And that was their chance to really put a statement through. And now they're just going to be on the half buy to back up that AWP, just very, very light investments. And Nemiga, that's an absolute gift.
And Hard Legion just have that AWP once again out with the pistols on the upgrades for the CT side. 3 players out towards top of Banana Sandbags area. It's Speed Out that takes the first kill on Rage. Crad will try to look for one here at the broken wall, but he's also going to get forced back. 74 HP worth of damage done by the Molotovs. And Noah Sviat is sprayed through, takes him down. AWP lands a leg shot on Joe. No kill for the CT side here. So he gets naded out. He's going to call for backup here towards that B bomb site. They're confident this is going to be a B play, and they'd be right to think so. But rotations can still come in from Nemiga.
Yeah, no, well, they can just walk A at this point. All the rotates have come out for Hard Legion, and it's kind of a setup for the CTs where it's like, defend the AWP, because honestly, doing a little bit of chip damage isn't really that important. The most important factor of this round is making sure that they keep that AWP in play to bring it into the next. This should be, especially with Nemiga making their way to the A bomb site, a 13th. I'm wondering how many players they're going to be able to keep alive because, well, Joe, he's here with the AWP and he's around top banana.
Peek and pick in from Crad. Drops Joe at least, drops the AWP, but
that's 2 orcs now.
Meanwhile, they do get a little upset, you're right about that much. But Nemiga keeping 4 players alive, securing a bomb plant, securing a round as well. That is the main thing. I mean, yeah, it is going to leave its own little, like, drawbacks in that eco, but for this many players to stay alive for Nemiga, I imagine they can buy the AWP again. I mean, Speedak's already got 6.8k, so he's got enough to invest into that. For Nemiga, the important thing is the round win and the lead gained above Hard Legion. If they can continue to stack this up, then they will be looking at a very, very good turnaround again to secure this map and secure this series to qualify for the playoffs.
I'll tell you what, that might come back to bite them. That was such a big misplay from Joe. I don't know what he was doing lurking around that B side of the map. There was no need. There was no need for them to hunt. Yes, you can say, okay, let's try and get the AWP out of their hands, but there was no support. He was all by himself. And, well, they would have only been able to drop 1 AWP in that round anyway. They probably wouldn't have even upgraded to the secondary AWP if they wouldn't have been able to just hold on to 1. But now they hold on to 2. It helps them in the economy basis, allows them to get more utility to come through, and it allows Crad to be able to second AWP for his team. Nemiga have got the lead, 13-12, and like you said, Jay, they are inches away from making it to the playoffs.
Nades. Utility base is coming in to start things off for Hard Legion in towards Banana, as you mentioned. Only a few rounds to go for Nemiga, and realistically, this could be the round that puts them up to match point. Hard Legion taking early damage here, returning some back to box though on the Banana face. Lollipop's going to be playing carefully out towards the apartments, but really the meter things are going to be out to this Banana control. It goes very quiet for Nemiga as they put some early damage on the board, receive some back of their own right, and slowly rotate back into the mid and second mid positions.
They slow it right down to Nemiga. I mean, this round could potentially win them the game. It certainly has a lot of importance. Rage, super aggressive. It is the AWPs. It's the double AWPs that start off. And, oh, Nemiga are going to be kicking themselves. The lineup for Forrester. Well, there it is, Jay, the double AWPs.
Double kills as well for the M4s.
Wow.
13 all as Hard Legion managed to come back into this one. And, Dwayne, I think you're a little bit out of sync for me. Can you give me a quick time check?
I am. Yeah, I keep trying to adjust it, but unfortunately, I just can't get the timing right. I'll try and go back. I'm currently at 55, 54, 53, 52.
Oh my god, you're 2 seconds behind.
All right, let me try and see if I can get this fixed.
Okay. Well, I'll continue the cast from here. Nades up, doing damage to Joe and Box. And the AWP lands a wallbang onto MDS. Damage has been done, but no kills coming in early for either side. And again, the AWP's whole face Rage here towards the apartment speed. That's going to try to challenge him. This is going to be risky, and it works better for the CT side. A beautiful flick vertically up. MDS damage to 8 HP. Lollipop caught off guard towards mid as Forrester gets us to a 5-on-3. And now they're going to start bracketing in the players here towards Banana. They will make their way back out, but Forrester gets another pick back towards mid. And 2 players are left standing for this one, Dwag. Hard Legion set back a few rounds, putting Nemiga right back in their place.
They're done. I think they're done now. Hard Legion are looking so dominant off the back of the last round and now going into 27. Oh my. This has just been so back and forth between these two sides. Momentum has continuously shifted. And Forrester getting just a superb double kill. Crad, that's the bomb drop. Joe, last one left. And, well, this is 2 rounds in a row where 5 players stay alive. This shot from Rage, man.
Yeah, that is just unrivaled there. A simple flick, a start and a half. Crad there with his kill on towards that mid position and everything.
Playing for OT, there's no money.
Yeah. Eco coming in from the Nemiga. A couple upgrades here and there. The Deagle in particular for Joe. The utility out for him and Box. But as you mentioned, this has got to be an overtime play for Nemiga, else they look to concede back to Hard Legion. Run boost for the AWP, looking in towards mid, seeing... I think he may have seen one player. He does now, but he can't quite find that flick.
Now, Nemiga are going to get 2,400 in the next round, so they will be absolutely dying for a bomb plant. It would help them massively if they can get one through. Doing damage doesn't matter. Hard Legion are going to be able to buy going into the following round no matter what happens. So really, bomb plan is the main concern at this point.
MDS taking the first tag. Nades on against him, 9 HP. Box and Speedak can take a little bit of their own right, but banana control established by Joe. Deagle ready to round this corner. M4 and AWP here to the crossfire. Another AK, excuse me, in the back lines for Sviat. So the B site is set and ready. An offensive to hold. The Orm misses his first shot, but there's Kinky with that kill. Sviat going to focus fire as well. Kinky gets himself 3 frags all in all, making it 4. On for the ace. Crad steals it away, but 15 to 13, Hard Legion. Now on map and match point here in the best of 3 on our third map. It's going to be 2 rounds for Nemiga to get us to overtime. It's got hard craft here, but it starts with the bye.
It certainly does, and I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of players in these last few rounds that have gone very, very quiet for Nemiga. I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about this, Jay. This is 3 rounds in a row that Hard Legion have had 5 players staying alive. Think of the confidence that brings into round number 21, or 29, I should say. Nemiga have not found anything.
Double Orbs, double AK, M4 out for Hard Legion. The AK's crossed the board for the T side. And the CTs are just set up and ready. The same setup that they had before. Ready for that first pick to go their way. MDS may just give it up to Crad. Flashbang will try to keep him away for the moment, stall for extra time, and it will be successful to keep him further back. No aggressive face from the CTs though, so nades up, smokes down. That lands pretty well against Box and MDS. Incendiaries to try to respond to it all the same. Hard Legion, 60 seconds to the clock. They've fended off the Nemiga for the time being.
I'll tell you what, both of the AWPers and the City side are playing at this A bomb site, so if it is the big commitment for Nemiga, they only need to deal with the riflers. How much time is left on the clock? Because there is still an Incendiary to work with, and it goes down at the right time. They've already brought Crad over.
Sviat standing by with the AK, got a teammate close range, M4 sprays and lines up so much. Sviat's going to get a kill on Speedak as Kinky falls, 2-for-1 trade. AWP completely blind firing, Sviat's still on site, he gets one. MDS finds a trade, but it's a 3-on-2 scenario for this one. The way Crad will peek in, blind fire does not deny that bomb plant. And Nemiga still holding face for the moment. Orb in, still hunting for a kill on towards the back line. Joe is there from Coffins. Crowd going to face in, catch him off. MDS, all that remains. 1 versus 3 for the T's. And it looks like Nemiga are going to be dropping a Hard Legion. They make their way to the playoffs. Nemiga got to play 1 more round.
Ah, there it is from Hard Legion. Some fantastic rounds towards the back end of that third map. 16 to 13, Hard Legion making it to the playoffs. And that's going to be it from us. Once again, we'd like to say a massive thank you for all of us tuning in to the fantastic broadcast. And Jay, we'll be back tomorrow with even more action. So we'll see you once again tomorrow.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.